I think the hardest part was, this is such a competitive market. To get a house is very, very difficult. So we saw a house, we fell in love with it, and we knew we needed to move really, really fast. So one of the things that I really liked about working with Ruben was that I picked up the phone, and within a couple of hours he was there taking photos and walking us through the whole process of, when we list our house, at that point he can place an offer because that would look legitimate as an offer. It would give so much more credibility. And the fact that he did that within the same day that we saw and fell in love with this house meant a lot.
My husband traveled a lot, so I had to take over sometimes, and I had to deal with paperwork, and I had to be responsible for being there and having things set up. So one day in particular, I had to show the condo to the new owner, and it was a little scary and intimidating, but Ruben was always there. He was very on time. He had all the paperwork that I needed. He just helped me not to get overwhelmed and always be at ease.
This transaction was different for us because we needed to sell our house before we could buy another one, and we had the fear of being left without a house. Ruben was really good about giving us options. He at least 2 or 3. So we always knew that if push came to shove, there was some other way in which we could find a house, and that was important for us. We were really afraid. We really didn't know what was going to happen, and especially when our house sold, and it took us maybe 2 weeks before we closed before we could close the contract on ours. That was scary, and Ruben was there to help us.
Personally, I like that Ruben would always show us houses that he thought we would like. Like, he would think about our interest and find houses based on that. Like, he wouldn't just show us this house is in your price point, like, let's go see this house. Like, he wouldn't do that. Like, he would make sure that the house would be to our taste, and see him, like, maybe even visit him. I think he did that a couple of times. He went and visited them himself before he even showed them to us.
There was actually a time we were on vacation right after we had sold our house, and we couldn't see houses during a week or 2, and Ruben actually went and saw a few houses for us, and he took some pictures while we were on our trip. That was good. That was good. Yeah, that was scary because we were on vacation and we didn't have a house. We had sold ours. We were on escrow, and we really were thinking that during that time, unfortunately, there's a vacation we had already planned, that we were going to lose time really in looking for options. And Ruben found the house. He actually FaceTimed us while we were on the cruise, and we allowed him to place an offer for a house that we didn't even see. I would recommend Ruben because I really like his knowledge. He really walked us through every single document. Although we had been through similar transactions in the past, he really knew what he was doing, and that gave us a lot of confidence. When you have that trust, then you can have a faster transaction, and that was really, really helpful. He gave us a lot of ideas. When we would see a house, specifically this one that we ended up buying, there were some things on the layout that we didn't really like, and he walked us on how we could make that remodel to turn it into the exact house that we wanted. One of the things, for example, is this house did not have a master bathroom inside of the master bedroom, and he just walked us on a few things and here and there that we could do to incorporate that bathroom to our master bedroom, and that made us like this house so much.
I really think he had a great sense of urgency. He was always spot on with all the documents. He was quick to send us an email, hey, you need to make sure and sign this document today.
Kept us on track?
Yes, he kept us on track, definitely. He was there to answer our questions whenever we had any. Like I said previously, in my case, he would answer my questions when I was completely lost.
And I was unavailable.
And he was unavailable. Super friendly as well. He's always there with a smile on his face, always very professional. And I also liked how he dealt with the other realtors that I saw. He was very professional as well with them.
He was not a pushy salesperson. That's important. This is a scary moment for, most of us who are buying a house for the first time. And, we didn't want to feel like he was just rushing us through the next option so we can get to his next appointment. He really spent time with us. He really understood our needs, and he was never, pushing us to buy a house that he felt wasn't the right one for us. Where we needed to sell our house.
Whose kid is that?